Now we're inside. This is Miguel from the Lego Star Wars design team. It's so good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you.
Again, and it's warm here.
It's warmer in here than it was outside, yes.
So we'll show you the images we probably took outside.
Okay.
And you have the Star Wars museum, Star Wars design team, and there are of course a few new sets out there because there's going to be a new Star Wars movie coming.
That's right. Rise of
I
Skywalker.
guess you haven't seen it, but like in the last years and previous years, you will get some images and then you have to build those models.
That's right. We, while the film's being developed, we, Lucas Disney, they feed us information along the way as much as they can to keep us in the loop so that we know what it is we can develop as a product. Yeah.
So we have some models here, and this is kind of funny story because the last Kylo ship, there was something wrong which you couldn't know. I mean, you can tell us.
Yeah, that's a funny story, and I think a lot of people have heard that story. And it was, it just proves the point that many people think we've seen the film before it comes out, and we really haven't. So when we watched the trailer, like everybody else did, and the ship landed and the wings folded out, we thought, oh. But this time, there's no doubt about it. We've got all the functions in place, so the wings do fold as they are supposed to do. So I think later on we'll actually see if we can lift the glass off and we'll actually play with the model. So I'll show you the functionality in the ship itself. So they do fold down as well as fold in and out.
So it looks really impressive, like a ship of a bad guy should look.
Yeah, exactly.
And there are some more changes. I would say the wings are bigger now.
I'm not sure how much. I haven't had this model right beside the old one to check what size, what the difference is. But I know that the designer has, again, like we always do, started at the beginning, like we always do, and work his way all the way through the model. So there are changes in many areas.
Yeah, it looks really impressive. So if they have to pick one, would be in front. And we have this new speeder, and we don't know what's going on because this is kind of a teaser for the upcoming movie.
Right, that's right. And it's all I know is that it's a chase scene on a planet called Pisana. It's a desert planet, and we have this one speeder where we have Rey and BB-8, and they're being chased by this what we call a tread speeder, where we've got two troopers, where the trooper on the back is a brand new type of trooper called a jet trooper. And if you look really carefully in the trailer, you'll see there's a trooper that rockets through the air.
Yeah.
And he's doing that with the help of this jetpack that he's got on his back. So he's a brand new type of trooper. So it'd be really interesting to see what role he plays in. So they're chasing Rey and BB-8 on this other speeder.
And it looks really cool because you have a great collection of minifigures here. Mm-hmm. And you've got two really nice speeders and also this little build with nice colors. So this is a good set to start with.
Yes, it does. And when you see the film, you'll understand that little build, why it's there. There is I can't really tell you a lot about it, but it'll make sense when you see the film.
So this is really cool too. And when we have another AT-ST.
Yes, that's right.
And surprise, it's closed.
Yeah, I think actually we're calling this AT-RT.
Okay.
But I'm a little in doubt, but because this is from the Mandalorian, and what it's being, it's supposed to mimic something that they've pieced together. You see, and that's why it's all these different remnants of past ships. Or past walkers. And then we've got two bad guys. I think their name is Cluntonian, if I remember correctly. Okay. And then we've got the Mandalorian himself and his sidekick. And let me think what her name is.
We will see on Disney Plus soon.
Yes. But anyway, this is a fantastic walker, and the coloring is just really, really great. And we're really looking forward to seeing what role it plays in the new series.
It really looks fresh, in my opinion.
Exactly.
It's something new. Yeah. And what I mentioned in the beginning, there was some discussion about your previous AT-ST because it wasn't closed. Because again, you've just seen a few scenes.
Yes.
But I think this looks really impressive. It is a nice build with really kind of shape we know, but new colors. So
it's the exact shape of the AT-ST that we know. But like I said, it's supposed to look as though they've put it together out of parts from old vehicles.
So have you been a part in the design process of one of those sets here?
No, the one that I worked on is in the other display case, so we'll have to go down there and look at that.
But before we go to the other ships, we have a guy we know. Yes. It's Yoda, and he's back. And this time, I mean, this looks really impressive. This is a build And we haven't seen this for quite a while, that we really have the studs on the side, so kind of old school, but with a really nice shape of a face. So what do you think of this one?
Oh, I think it's fantastic. I mean, everybody loved the porg, so we thought this was a definite. I mean, Yoda is probably one of the most favorite, well-known, well-loved characters from the whole galaxy. So it made a lot of sense to do Yoda, and so I think that a lot of fans will love this build. Children, families. I think it'll be a great experience.
Is there anything, because right now we can even touch it, that we don't know, any surprise? Can you close the eye? Can you remove the lightsaber?
Yes, you can remove the lightsaber, and the fingers do move. You can adjust the eyes so you can make a very angry-looking Yoda if that's what you would like to do. So there are different expressions you can create with the moving the eyes.
But we know Yoda is not angry.
No.
He has everything under control.
That's right. Always under control.
So this looks really great. And then we have also the lightsaber, which is new. The old one had one.
The old one, no, that was a totally different version, and more a bust than this. This is the complete figure, so yeah.
So before we go on, maybe it's just a quick look outside. We can look outside now, by the way, and we see the mountain for the first time. And you have some, I would say, models here, and this is even a concept which you hold in hand right now.
Well, what I think we can do is when we walk over to the other model, I'll show you where this character is.
And now we see a new Millennium Falcon.
That's right, new Millennium Falcon. And although it looks like a Millennium Falcon you've seen before, it's not. There are differences. Once again, we've started from scratch, built it all the way up. If you were to look at this from the top, so you could get a better idea of the profile, it's more accurate than what we've ever done before. Mainly because we've got a new angle element that was actually part of, if you know the ship we did called the Red Baron that was for resistance. We did that, and we created a new angle plate to create a certain wing shape. And that angle plate has now enabled us to create a more accurate shape for the Millennium Falcon. We also, when we take this top off, I'll show you the way that we open the Millennium Falcon is totally different than before. We've closed many of the gaps that used to be in the top. When you do open it up, there are the interior matches what we'll see in the new film. We have a new character line up. Bulio, the fellow with the orange or the yellow horns. It'll be really interesting to see what role he's playing, and we know ourselves very little about him. Lando, I think, looks just fantastic.
Yes.
So, we're all in all really, really excited about this one.
What I really like, and you already mentioned this, that now there are no gaps anymore. That it's really close, and it looks like a real full ship now.
Yep.
The cockpit is still the same.
Cockpit is the same. It makes sense. It works for us. This element is a shape that works in our Lego system. And as I was talking about this guy, and I can talk about it now because he is also in this ship, about what I had mentioned before about the Lego system and the way that the stud fits into the system of play. So we have here these two droids that we know and love, and then this guy here. So we have this little family of droids, and then the example of how this element fits into the system. You see that stud is perfectly aligned with the other elements. So now if we put this plate on there, it all lines up, fits into the system.
So we will see some marks in the future, I guess, where people use 100 of those.
Well, who knows? I mean, and that's the whole. The day that we stop building upon that system, that would be our demise. This is what's that's the reason that X-wing is out there, because we have this system, and that brick is at the heart of it. So everything we do works in that system.
And it's good to see new parts, and it's good to see Millennium Falcon,
yes,
which now seems really like a finished model. And we have this old body here, a new A-wing.
A new A-wing, yes, in green. I think we've got an A-wing from the prequels in green at one point that I actually did, I remember doing. But this is a really fresh design, looks amazing, really close to the Macquarie A-wing that we know and love. Fantastic looking ship, I think. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the fastest ships in the galaxy, so I really like it. Yes.
So if the Empire is near, you can still just run.
Absolutely.
And there's one set, you told us you have been the lead designer.
Yes.
And this should be the Y-Wing then.
This is the Y-Wing, and I'm really happy with the result of this. Up until now, we're going into the 9th film, and every Y-Wing we've ever seen up until now has been white and yellow. Yes. Finally, we've got a Y-Wing in white and red. Brand new, fresh colors. The helmet for Zori Bliss is also a brand new element. While we were developing that helmet, we were actually not even sure whether the character was going to be male or female. So that was quite interesting. The droid also, right at the last minute, we weren't sure exactly what droid it was going to be, what color the droid was going to be. Also, these last minute things came into effect. But if you were to take this Y-Wing and compare it to the previous Y-Wing, there are similarities, but there are also many subtle details that have been. I'm quite happy with the level of detail I was able to achieve, and it's a great, stable build for kids as well.
Don't get me wrong here, but if I have to pick one set of all of those, it would be this Y-Wing. It looks really good, because I always thought the UCS Y-Wing is great, but you can make it great in a smaller scale too. And I think this is the fact here.
And I think that what we do primarily is to make toys for children. And that's why I say, even though my title is Design Manager Specialist, what I do is build spaceships for kids.
Yeah.
And that's what I love doing. And seeing the joy of those kids when they build that or play with one of those models, it's just priceless.
Maybe my favorite part of this ship is the teal droid.
it doesn't it pop? It just looks
like
amazing. Yeah.
So all in all, and there are also some new tiles here, like this curves one. So it looks really fresh to me. Yeah. We have, of course, some stickers, but as we know, since the Mustang, sometimes a sticker is better than a print.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Well, printed details are always really lovely to do. They are costly for us, so we try and see where it makes most sense, and we try and create a balance. That's right.
In the end, I would like to ask you, how long do you already work as a designer for Lego?
Oh, I've been at Lego for 13 years now. Yeah. So the first models I was working on were Creator and the first wave of Ninjago, actually. So otherwise, almost exclusively at Star Wars.
And now we work for this theme, and it's still out there. It's still strong.
It's still strong, and we're going to be going strong for many years, I think. There's so much material on the way. Even though we're closing up the saga as we know it, we're going to be opening up a brand new one. The Mandalorian looks really, really exciting. New season of Clone Wars. Yeah, lots of material.
So now we're running out of time because our X-Wing is there, and we have to fly to the galaxy.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much, Mikael.
Yes, thank you.
Good to see you here. And this was, by the way, maybe the only interview I would do on such a mountain. So
yeah, me too. Yeah. I think you're right.
Now we need some breath air. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Instead of all those thin openings, and we have
luxury. Oh, this one is pretty cool actually, and pretty smooth.
Yeah. And we still have the smuggler's chambers.
That's cool.
I really hope that they don't destroy the ship in the last movie.
Yeah, I hope you're right.
I have the feeling that because it's the end of the Skywalker saga, so
yeah.
Let's see.
Would be a shame.
This is for the
Then do you have you have a cannon. Okay. Sweet.
Here we have the bombing function.
Oh, I missed it. Okay.
You load them from the top there.
I see it. I have it for you.
Okay.